What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Diablo Immortal video. Today I have Indez with me, and we're going to be talking about the 4 different types of monetization that can happen inside of video games and what the complaints are here inside of Diablo Immortal. Indez, thanks for coming through the channel today, brother. I appreciate the conversation, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm huge on this topic, as you guys know. I'm free to play. I tend to try to min-max my account when it comes to this, and this is a topic that it always comes on my stream. So I'm happy to give my insight.
I couldn't have a better guest for this topic, so thanks for coming. And for context, Indez is free to play, and I am a light spender sitting around 3,500 res after playing for 2.5 years. But this topic came to mind, Indez, because the Phantom market just came back to the game. It's actually the Revenant market, where you can get 2 different types of cosmetics this time around. Now, every time this comes, people start to complain about the cost, because the cost to unlock all of these items in the Phantom market is approximately $170. Now, as content creators for Blizzard, we're Blizzard partners. Blizzard gifts us these as a thank you for creating content, so we're able to share these with the community, to wear them and to enjoy them ourselves. A lot of times, though, in the comment section, people say $170 is way too much money for cosmetics, and this is not okay, this isn't right. But there's something that comes to mind to me when that's said. Is $170 a lot for a cosmetic? Of course it is. I think it's expensive. But people are also complaining about the pay-to-win mechanic inside of Diablo Immortal with Resonance. And when you think about cosmetics versus Resonance, this monetization method is one that doesn't impact gameplay and it doesn't impact power. Now, there are 4 different ways you can monetize a game, which we're going to get to shortly. But first, Indez, I want to have you chime in on what's your thought on that, on the cosmetic costing $170. And it doesn't give anyone any power or anything, just a cosmetic change. Your thoughts there?
Yeah, obviously it is a very expensive cosmetic, but as you said, right, it doesn't add to the pay to win. So in general, I'm not as against. Like, I'm actually in favor when you have like free to play games that you can install, you can enjoy them, and then they are this monetization that goes through convenience, where you can buy maybe extra stash tabs. Also, you have like the cosmetics, and these are the ones that I'm the most comfortable with. Regarding the cosmetic, obviously I feel like it is very expensive because it goes through all the classes, so you can switch classes no matter what you pick. You have like the female version, you have the male version, so there's a lot of versions that are inside these. So I understand the price. However, I feel like maybe better way to maybe in the future do this is maybe if I only play Barbarian, I'm not interested in all of them. So maybe like have a, I don't know, a 40 euros, a 50 euros version, like a bit more specific to a class, can be something interesting. But I personally, I will not have gotten this if I was not the Diablo partner. And it's just because I feel that it doesn't provide exactly what I really want, even though they look extremely cool. I just feel that the cosmetics, for example, this one that you have right now on the screen, I feel like this one was one that was there was a lot of backlash because there was not only the 170 euros, but then you also have the polish and the tempering, which
Right.
you also have to add. I think it was like 6,000 or 10,000 orbs on top of already a very expensive. So I really like the idea of you being able to customize your Phantom cosmetic to add a bit more extra value, but I think that should be for free.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Before Blizzard partners started getting the Phantom Market cosmetics as a thank you from Blizzard, I never purchased them myself. I just thought it was too expensive. Now, are they awesome looking cosmetics? Yeah, I think they're really great. They are definitely a big step above what we get from our cosmetics from the Battle Pass.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they are quite expensive. But I'm an advocate for this type of sale inside of a game. If you could sell stash space, if you could sell convenience, or if you could sell cosmetics, I honestly, Indez, would not care if they had $1,000 cosmetic inside of the game that only some of the biggest whales would buy, because you know what? It would support the game monetarily. We wouldn't have to buy it because it wouldn't impact us in any way, and it could help support the game.
Uh,
I think the problem lies, before you say something, is that
Hmm.
they have both elements. They have very expensive
Yeah,
cosmetics
that's
and
exactly
they have the pay to win
the pay
resonance
to
model.
yeah.
It,
Yeah, I think that's what exactly what I was going like to put my input is like not only we have an extremely expensive pay to win system inside the game, like in the start, yes, you can climb your way into like you know 1, 2, 3 thousand resonance with like very mild spending. But if you want to go above, then now we are talking about like 10,000, then 100,000. It just keeps
yeah.
scaling. So I feel like that's where people get like a bit more, you know, sensitive. That not only we have this extreme, you know, pay to win mechanic inside the game that like you're gonna become strong just by paying, but and on top of that, they are like these extreme expensive skins. I am on the same boat as you. If they only had the cosmetics and like this convenience, I'll be all down for it. I also already came up like with this on the stream with the chat and say, what if we had like a free to play server that we don't have the pay to win mechanic, but yes, obviously this is a company they have to monetize somewhere.
Mhm.
Then instead of only having like this pay to win mechanics, we only have like the cosmetics and the convenience, maybe do extra stash tabs. I feel like that could be a cool experience that maybe more players or new players could enjoy a very different way to play Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, I've explored that free to play server idea as well. I think it's a
Hmm.
great idea. I don't know if that'll ever happen. We'll have to see. I mean,
Yeah.
that's another topic for another video. I don't think it's a bad idea though. But I think some people forget that game companies need to make money somehow, right? And as we said, there are four ways. Let's talk about the four different ways that a company can make money. Now, we know that the mobile game model is typically download it for free and pay for things inside of the game. That's typically the model. Uh, 8 years ago, it was like, oh my God, what is this? We have to pay for stuff inside of the game. Now it's more normal. In some cases, like Diablo Immortal, it could be extremely expensive, but so the first model is like your traditional Diablo games, like Diablo 3, Diablo 4. You buy the game. I shouldn't even say Diablo 4 because you could buy things. There's monetization inside of the game as well. But something like a Diablo 3, you buy the game. It was $60 and you have the game. You pay for nothing and you just play. And then when there's an expansion, you would play again. I'll say, and I want to know your thought. If Diablo Immortal came out with a $40 price tag and it wasn't pay to win and you couldn't buy stuff in the game and you would pay for new seasons and zones and stuff, do you think the game would have been successful?
I think on the mobile platform, no, because
Right.
people are so used to the free to play model. If you're talking about the only mainly PC, yes, but players are more willing, or even like on the console, they are like way more used to it. But somewhere along the lines, players just got so used to this free to play model that you know, like on the mobile, I don't see that could ever happen. Because like even if you go to the App Store and you see a game that is like 99 cents or 199, you said, "Nah, I'm not gonna buy this," you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just are so used to just download it for free and then getting like this purchase inside that I feel like it'll be very hard to bring this model to the you know the mobile space.
Yeah, and that's totally true. I don't if there's a mobile game that has a $5 price tag, most people are going right on to the next one. What's the next option? So to have a price tag on a mobile game like that, it wouldn't have been successful. Um, so you have three other options. One option is to have microtransactions inside of the game that give you power, give you an advantage over others. Diablo Immortal has this. That's the resonance system inside of the game. You have the convenience and cosmetic monetization method where inside of the game you could buy cosmetics, stash space, and conveniences for your gameplay. Diablo Immortal has this as well. And then you said it before we even started recording. The worst of all is the monetization method where there's ads in the game. When you try and go from one stage to the next, an ad will pop up. It is the spammiest and, in my opinion, the worst monetization method because your gameplay is just consistently interrupted. So, I mean, obviously, I think I can speak for all of us that the best method here would have been convenience and cosmetics. Charge what you want for cosmetics, charge what you want for convenience, but make those the way that the game is monetized. I mean, this is kind of a discussion, like why is it pay to win? That's been going on forever inside of the game. But I wanted to readdress it just because people are still saying the same thing, complaining about the cosmetic pricing. And when you think about it, you could still get cosmetics for $5 with the battle pass, which I think is I think that's actually some really good value that you get out of that. What are your thoughts about that? Do you get the battle pass? I know that you don't, I guess,
No,
right?
no, no. I don't get anything, and it's not like it's just like a personal choice. Even like before I played Diablo Immortal, I always play like these games free to play. I played like Summoner's War, This Light, AFK Arena, and I was always like. I just have like this mentality that okay, I want to play a game that I want to go in, I want to try to min max, to try to compete like with a spender, try to go on the up on the leaderboards. Obviously, there is a cap, but that's how I enjoy to play these games, you know. So I avoid, but I feel like regarding the battle pass, I usually say that the battle pass at the start of the game, it is pretty good value. Over time it kind of drops off, and but if you really like, and I think the main reason to actually get the battle pass is like if you really like the cosmetic that they are gonna bring on a
Mm-hmm.
battle pass, I think it's totally worth the $5. Have in mind that this is class bounded, so if you change classes, you're not gonna be able to bring it. But I feel like that's, in my opinion, if you want a cosmetic and you want to look like a bit cooler inside the game for $5, I think like it's completely fine. Not only you get like a bunch of things that will also gonna be worth it for you.
Yeah, I think the value of the battle pass is actually insane value just for the cosmetic alone, right? Like, if this is, I call it the honeybee one, right? It's the one for this season. I actually
Yeah.
didn't like it, but I like it more now when you remove the headpiece and when you
Mhm.
take a look at like the honey that's kind of dripping out. I think it's kind of cool. But like, if you like it, you spend $5 in the battle pass and you get yourself a cosmetic and some cosmetic weapons. I think it's very fair. Um, I
Yeah, that
think,
one for me actually looks pretty cool. I feel like also when it comes to cosmetics, tastes matter, right? Like everyone has different tastes, whatever. Like
of
it
course.
looks cool for a few, it looks bad for others. But I feel like if you tell me this was on the shop for like 1,500 orbs, I will believe you, because on the shop, if you go and start scrolling down, there's like some ridiculous price in some of those cosmetics. But again, cosmetics, just if you want to put more cosmetics, for me like it doesn't really matter. I'm happier that they have that rather than maybe putting another pay to win system inside the game.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's funny because you kind of forget about the cosmetics in the shop as well, right? Because there's cosmetics in
Yeah.
so many other areas. But yeah, of course, you can grab some of these as well. So at the end of the day, if you had your choice for Diablo Immortal, what would be the monetization method?
I think the monetization that I would have picked would have been with the cosmetics and also the convenience. If there is one game that maybe in the future it can compete with Diablo Immortal, it's gonna be a game that probably is not gonna have as much pay to win, and is gonna maybe pick like these other ways. I feel like this is just a personal opinion, not backed up by data or anything, but
Yep.
right now we went from like almost 11 million players to now like 1 million and a few players on Diablo Immortal over 3 years inside the game. And I just have this belief that if we didn't have the pay to win mechanic as it is, we probably could be sitting on a game that probably will still have like maybe 5 or 6 million players playing currently. That's just a belief that I have, because I feel like the game will just be better for and more fair for everyone else. But you have also this other side of the players that on the mobile they love to spend. They are like
Yeah.
they jump from game to game, and their goal and the way they perceive mobile games, like, okay, I go here, I become a whale, I want to dominate. Once I get bored, maybe I jump to another one. So this is also a completely different side of like the spectrum than from me. I'm free to play. Then there's like this other side that they just really enjoy the game as a pay to win, and that's also completely fine as long as you have fun. This is a mobile game, and the games were designed and created at the start to be entertaining for you guys to have fun. And I feel like when you start having like very bad emotions towards a game, or you start to getting like very emotional like to a skin that just got inside the game, it's like, oh, this price is so ludicrous. Maybe take a step back, you know, try to see, am I really having fun with Diablo Immortal, or am I just like projecting my frustrations on these and that? So yeah, that's where I stand. I feel like these cosmetics, yes, the price is ludicrous in my opinion, but I rather have this in this game than adding another pay to win system on top.
Yeah, I agree with what you said there, and I'm glad that you brought it up. I don't think players should ever feel like they have to spend inside of the game. I think that a game that will make you feel like you have to spend to play it or to enjoy it becomes a very toxic game. And obviously, you have different people, right? You have some people that have these addictions to gambling, which can get sucked into these monetization methods, which you have to really be careful for. But at the end of the day, there's no reason to spend on resonance inside of Diablo Immortal unless you're going to go all in on resonance because you're going to always be hitting your caps as you go. Cosmetics,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I agree completely because like in my opinion, the best two ways to play this game, it is or you're free to play or you're like right there at the extreme big whales.
yep,
Because if you're in the middle, in that middle resonance bracket, it's like very uncomfortable because probably you already spent like a few $1,000s, and the resonance keeps expanding, and now it's like you were maybe high resonance or you were mid resonance now. You just keep falling behind, right? Like if you're the 4,000 resonance or 5,000 resonance, like now you're considered like mid resonance or low mid resonance because the cap is like 13,000. So as the game keep progressing, I feel like it's gonna be the gap between free to play and pay to win is just gonna keep increasing. And but I feel like to do PV free to play is completely fine. And even in PvP as a free to play, as long as you know how to min max and know your role, you're probably still gonna do fine. You're not gonna be like that killer that dominates the PvP because that's not gonna be your role. But I
right.
think you can still enjoy the game as it is.
And that's assuming that people want to do PvP. I would guess that a good number, a large percentage of players that play don't even go to battlegrounds, man. They just are doing it for the old school
Yeah,
way of playing Diablo.
yeah. Uh,
Um,
I ran like a poll the other day, and
mhm.
the favorite no game mode of most people it is random dungeons. That's the
Wow.
whole concept and the core concept of like playing a Diablo game. It is just you go grind these dungeons, you get geared, you get stronger, you keep progressing your character, and then you just as you keep getting stronger, you're most likely gonna start enjoying the game a bit more. You're gonna keep facing these obstacles and keep overcoming them, and that's where this progression comes in and the satisfaction of the player.
Yeah, grind harder, get better gear, beat higher level Heliquary bosses, and play
Yeah.
the game in that sense. And to be honest, I still in my videos have new players coming all the time that are brand new to the game, um, that are gonna experience it for the first time and are looking for some guidance. I don't know that you're right on the number of players. You're saying that we only have 1 million players actively playing the game right now?
No, the last time I saw was like 1.8
Really?
million players. Yeah, 1.8
I gotta
million.
dive deep.
And
That's crazy low.
and I feel like it's probably even lower if you consider all the bot accounts and the alt accounts that people have.
Mm,
Maybe we're talking about maybe a 1.4, 1.5. Of course, like these numbers are without China, so probably there you can add like a 1 or 2 million more.
yeah.
But in general, like what it matters like the trend, it's going down and we keep like bleeding players, and that's like no, something that we have to start acknowledging because as you said, you have a lot of players coming into your channel, they are enjoying the game, and the
Hmm.
first one of the biggest questions like, oh, is this pay to win, can I play as a free to play? And I always say enjoy it first, see if you like the game as a free to play, just to figure it out. And afterwards, if you want to sponsor, if you want to support the game, you can buy a cosmetic, you can buy the battle pass. It's totally up to you. If you enjoy your time, if you want to support, that's completely fine. But outside of that, I feel like we have to try to find ways to retain more like these newcomers because it's very impressive how we still have like new
Yeah.
players after 3 years coming into this game. But then I feel like the retention on the mobile it is very low already, like as a market standard, and it's hard. It's hard because like also Diablo Immortal, it is not like the easiest game to get in. If you it's your first ARPG, that you're not used to, like geared agility, critical hit strike, and all these things. Like you're just like, oh my god, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, and we have to be, have a bit more empathy towards the new players to understand like that they are coming for the first time, and there's a lot of struggles. So, for example, the other day, one guy was telling me that, hey, I just started like 3 weeks ago. Or 1 month ago, and I reached like the Inferno 5 now, like really fast. But now my secondaries are like 2000. I get beaten up. I get, and it is very frustrating. So I feel like Blizzard will have to start addressing not only the veteran problems, which they are by adding these quality of life changes, but also the new players. We need more new players to bring like a new blood into the game.
Yeah, and I think they are. I think they do try. Like I'm looking right now at these chests that you get from the Feast of Valenti. Like you get some premium pieces of gear inside of these chests. I know it's not green items, but there are ways where players can really be smart about things and get their power up from
Yeah,
events like this inside
they
of the game where you're guaranteed gear.
yeah, the combat rating, it takes time, but you can get there. Like, but in general, is has more to do like with the catching up, like with the secondaries and the
Yeah.
resonance, which they are completely attached to the pay to win mechanic, and that's where they realize that if you want to get stronger quickly, you're most likely gonna have to spend, or you have to be patient and just do the daily grind.
And do the grind. So you're either okay with the grind or you're okay with opening up your wallet. But hey, at least
Exactly.
we don't have ads popping up inside of the game, man, because that would
Yeah.
be the absolute worst.
Yeah, every dungeon you go, there is like a
Oh,
30 seconds ad.
jeez, that would be
Yeah.
terrible. Hey, Indez, I
No, no.
really appreciate you coming through the channel, man. If you guys haven't checked out Indez, I'll be linking his channel in the description of this video. He puts out live streams almost every day and videos on a regular basis all around Diablo Immortal. Thanks for coming through, brother.
Thanks for having me.
Take care, guys.